Welcome to the demonstration of IBM's digital platform for credit card acquisition for Citibank Australia. In today's demonstration, we'll illustrate two business scenarios. First, where an existing customer of the bank wishes to acquire a Citibank credit card, and second, where a prospect having no current business with the bank wishes to acquire a card. The first scenario demonstrates how IBM's digital customer acquisition platform can integrate with core systems of the bank using the bank's own API gateway, thereby pre-filling information and saving the customer significant time and effort. The second scenario demonstrates how social data can be leveraged to provide deeper insights into customer behavior, thus allowing for personalization of customers' journey in the acquisition process. Let's get started with the demo. This is a simulated landing page for card acquisition, presumably a part of the Citibank website and common to both existing customers as well as prospects. The visitor will start the journey by clicking Apply Now. Since at this point we are not aware whether the visitor is an existing customer or a prospect, we prompt him to specify the same. Since the visitor has no existing account with the bank, he'll select No. He can then either choose to enter all his information or sign in using one of his social media accounts on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or any other popular social media platforms that make their APIs available. For this POC, we'll be using a LinkedIn account. As you can see, the visitor is diverted out from the existing site and prompted to sign in using his LinkedIn credentials. Once he logs in, he'll see some information pre-populated. Depending on Citibank's level of engagement with LinkedIn, the extent of data provided by LinkedIn will vary. The visitor will then complete the missing information before proceeding to the next step. At this point, address verification services, such as the one provided by Census, can be invoked for address validation. After accepting the terms and conditions, the visitor continues through the form and he'll be asked to fill in additional information where he'll be prompted to enter his identification details. He starts off with specifying his nationality. Here we are selecting Singapore and not Australia, as the data that the API is providing is for Singapore. However, in the end state, you'll see the data related to Australia. The visitor will select a document type for identification. In this case, he selects driver's license. The information entered can be submitted to a third-party validation service, such as the one provided by Yodlee or by the Government of Australia. The visitor then selects Next. This brings him to a screen where the employment information needs to be filled in. As you can see, this information is pre-populated as it has been sourced from LinkedIn. Additional information is being sought from a perspective of doing a credit check so that the credit limit for the card can be approved. The visitor enters information about his start date, end date, etc. He then enters the employment status, gross salary, frequency of payment, his current expenses, recurring expenses, etc. All this will go towards computation of the credit limit. Based on the information provided by the visitor, his experience may vary significantly. For example, if a visitor is unemployed or is employed part-time, the set of questions that will appear before him will be different from the ones that you see now. You may want to capture details like when he was last employed, for instance. Further, in such cases, you may not want to do an online issuance, but capture all the information and defer the decision to issue a card. After the visitor has specified his personal and financial information, he gets the option of choosing a credit card and comparing it with other credit cards. It is at this point that we submit data gathered from LinkedIn to IBM's Personality Insights service. Basis the personality traits provided by this service, a recommendation for the Citibank SMRT card is made to the customer. Let's go behind the scenes to see what happens here. This is not something that will be visible to the customer, but is being showcased to help you get a glimpse of how this works. As you can see, this is the data that is being sourced from the IBM Watson Personality Insights service. Here you can see a facet called adventurousness. The score we see here for this user is 0.57. For the sake of this POC, we have taken a simple rule that says if the adventurousness score is above 0.50, then the visitor is highly likely to travel often, and so he'll be interested in a card that offers travel miles. The rules can be based on a number of personality traits and can vary from being extremely simple to extremely complex. Having made the recommendation, the visitor still has an option of comparing this recommended card with other Citibank cards of his choice and making a decision himself. The visitor then selects the card after going through the various features provided by the selected cards. After he clicks Next, he is taken to a screen where the features of the card are highlighted. For this POC, we have highlighted the annual fee, currency code, and some other terms and conditions. You may highlight any feature that will appeal to your customers. This is where the background credit checks will be run through integration with Veda, which is now Equifax, and all the information gathered is submitted to the Citi Credit Computation API, which computes the maximum credit that can be extended to the customer. Additionally, for issuance of the card, you may require certain documents to be uploaded. The visitor doesn't have to physically mail or fax these documents. He can just upload scanned copies. Clicking on the Submit button will complete the process. Since this customer is new to the bank, the card will be mailed to his registered postal address. You can thank the customer for his business by offering him free coffee at Starbucks using the application number as a coupon. This is where we end the process for credit card acquisition for a prospect.